I only just rebooted my computer. For some unknown reason, it did not want to work. So I've got absolutely no intro this morning or this evening. Oh, I don't know where I am today. I don't know where I am, everybody. So if you're just watching, then please hello. Are we live? That is the question. Just checking now. Oh, there we go. Hazel is here. So you must be able to see me. That's good. My intro isn't working. I don't know what's going on. Had a few updates to do. Did a few updates and clicked the button to go live and nothing. There we go. So I am live here on a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Gremlins, of course. What on earth is going on? I never pressed anything. I honestly did not press anything. I honestly think there's a few gremlins or something creepy or strange going on today. Oh, talk about a delay. I don't understand what's going on there. It decided it was going to start working all of its own accord. So, hello everybody. I'll start again. Hello. Oh, yes, so what a day I've had today. First thing this morning, guess where I was? Dentist. I know, I broke something off or I've taken a filling out, one or the other. So I've got a temporary filling in at the moment and I will have to go back for something a bit more permanent. Yeah, so I was kind of slightly numb earlier on, but I kind of back to kind of normality now, eating most food. So hello everybody. Who have we got here today? We've got, we have Hazel, obviously. We've got Catherine, Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Well, we've got quite a few of you here. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. Let me just listen. You know who I am. There. Right, let's just move that out of the way for you. Oh, will everything work tonight or not? We'll see now. Let's get rid of that. Oh, where's it gone, Mark? Oh, there we go. There. Not going well tonight. So, how is everybody? Do you know what? I haven't even got myself a drink. It's kind of been one of those days today. I'm so glad you tuned in. We've got a kind of Halloween-esque themed kind of evening going on here. I didn't dress up. Haven't got a costume yet. Who knows? Maybe I will get myself a costume. So I'm just grateful for everybody being here. It's been so much fun. I love doing this every week. At the new time of Wednesday at 7. Let me know if you think that time is the best time for you. It seems to be good for me-ish. If you want me to do it at a different time, let me know. Let me know and we'll see what we can do. So tonight, now I haven't put any links up in the description or the titles on YouTube, but I will do that after tonight. What has everyone been doing? Oh, Gillian. Oh, is that Gillian here? I can't read. Sorry, Gillian. I can't read without my glasses on. Good morning. Good morning. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you, Gillian? Where are you, Gillian? And we have Stephanie here as well. So yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, wherever you may be in the world. So I am Mark Alexander. If you don't know, visible image, head designer-ish, head something. Yeah, it's Wednesday evening and I've decided that I'm going to do a live Halloween-esque. Going to involve a few skulls and some red and green, and we're just going to have a bit of fun. So if you like creating something a little bit Halloween-esque, then please do join in, or you can copy it afterwards. It's entirely up to you. Let's have a look to see what is on my desk. So what we're going to have a play with. I'll move some things just out of the way. I've got a very messy desk. So the kind of things I'm going to use tonight are, let's have a look. Where is it all gone? Right. So I'm going to be using, let's turn this camera to the top down today. I'm all fingers and thumbs and all kinds of things today. Okay, let's have a look. Right. So I am going to be using one of my favourite all-time stamps. It's been with us for a long, long time and it's still very popular today. So yeah. So I am going to be using the Mr. Bone Jangles because I absolutely adore this set. It's a really cool set. Obviously you've got the large skull there. You've got Mr. Bone Jangles full skeleton, and then you've got 3 smaller skulls, obviously left, right, and a smaller central one, which is nice to have. So I do like that. What else I'm going to be using? Let's have a look. I'm thinking I might use this stencil. It's called Splash, but it's such a really, really cool stencil. I mean, you can think of it whether you're doing maybe sports or rugby or hiking or just anything where you want to put splashes or splats, whatever you want to use it for. So I thought that would go really, really well with that. That was my thinking on that score. What else I'm going to use? I'm thinking I might use some of the something from the Happy Halloween set. I might use some of the sentiment, or I might use this the pumpkin. Who knows? I might use one of those. What else have I got? Oh, don't forget, these actually come. So there's only a few left in stock now. So if you want to get your hands on those, especially with the dies, that and that together, there's not many in stock. So do have a look out for those. Obviously, all these are on the website, so do check them out. So again, comes with the dies there. Nice if you don't want to cut it out. Very, very cool. And when these are gone, they are gone. So that's a good one. And I also might be able to use some ink splats as well. Just because we've got this splat thing, this whole kind of splatty theme going on there, I thought it'd be a really good call. So yeah, that'd be nice. So do let me know, say hello, and I'm just reading all your comments now. It's so nice to see you again. I really do appreciate each and every one of you here. Elise said it's Halloween Gremlins. You're right there. Handy Scandy, hi all from beautiful Fayette. I did not. Maybe I forgot Handy Scandy. I did not know that you were in North Carolina. Nice one. What's the weather like in North Carolina? Is it cold? I don't know. It's cold here tonight, I must admit. Hazel saying that the time suits you. It does suit you and it suits me. That's good. Yeah, yes, Ellie. Yes, I'm reading everything backwards. Yes, Ellie. Now we have the intro. We did have the intro. What a crazy time that has been. I don't understand why. Really don't. Okay. So we're going to do some creating and we're going to see where that takes us. So I'll start where I think I'll start with what we're going to start with. Okay, let's start with we've got a card blank. I'll move these out of the way. And do you know what I'm going to do first? I think I'm going to stamp my skull. So I'm just going to get my stamping platform. Fantastic. Right, where are we going to start? So always good to start somewhere. And again, I've still see that would be a good one as well. That would be good, but I've used that a lot recently. But that stamp there is a really good one. That would be good with skulls and things as well, but I'm not using that today, so I'm taking that one off. Okay, and I'm going to bring in my card blank. And so I've got a squeaky chair going on. I don't know whether you can hear it or not, but there we go. Right, so we're going to find that, and we're going to get our skull. My well-used, well-loved skull. I don't only clean these every now and again. I must admit, I should clean my stamps more than I actually do. So I'm just going to place that somewhere central where I think it might work. I don't want it too far down because I want to be able to put a nice sentiment there as well. So I think round about there should probably do it. Now, again, you know, you may have, let's put this one here. You may have lots of skulls in your stash, but I think this one here, the Mr. Bone Jangles, is a pretty good one, I think. A really, really nice one. So I'm just going to place that down, and we're going to just get some black ink. Now, I still haven't bought myself any of the Versifying Clear blacks because we had a discussion on that last week where we were saying that we thought that the Versifying Clear black was better. Wow, honestly, do you know what? This is the kind of gremlin I like. You can't see this gremlin, but this gremlin has and she's just making faces at me like a monster. This gremlin has just brought me in some coffee. Well done, Helen. Thank you. Isn't that much appreciated? Huh? That's really cool. Thank you, Helen. Very useful. At times. She's going away now. She's probably over here. I don't know how she knew that I didn't have a drink. Maybe she was. She said she wasn't going to be watching. I think she was. I do miss Helen on the old lives. Might be have to persuade her back sometime. We'll see. So I'm going to ink this up. She might say no. Let's have a look. Right, okay, so we'll place this down and we're just going to go over that nice and gently with our fingers. Again, stamping platforms are fantastic. Move that out of the way, we've already got that out of the way. Right. And we just lift that off. Okay, that's cool. Lovely, I like it black. If you want to go back in, make it darker, you're quite welcome to. I kind of like that kind of roughness in it as well. It doesn't have to be perfect because I have already got another one which I'm going to layer on top and give it some dimension. So here, like such, I've already got one I've cut out, so I'm not too worried. But what I didn't want was to have a blank space underneath, so that when people see it at an angle, you're still going to get that skull in there. So that's really cool. Ellie saying she's a good woman, and Hazel saying hi, Helen. So yeah, you are famous, Helen, and I'm sure I could get you back in another life, possibly. Get you back on camera in another life. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. What is it they say? Never say never. Okay, so let's take this off here. And again, we don't have to do anything with that if we don't want to, but I'm going to clear emboss that just because I like to have everything done. Look at messy desk, look at that. I like to have everything done so it's all nice fixed and it's not going to bleed or anything like that. So again, just going to put that underneath. We're going to get some clear embossing powder. We're going to sprinkle that on. I don't know why I'm feeling, besides having to go to the dentist, which is not my favourite pastime in the world, it reminds me of there's a scene in The Walking Dead, and that at Terminus, and that's what going to the dentist reminds me of. Like going to Terminus. Right. So let's put the lid back on that and we'll heat emboss this now. Who likes going to the dentist? Does anybody? Shout out and let me know. So I'm just heating this up now. Look at this, and this, I love it when it starts to appear. And you know, traditional and kind of pretty much classic for Halloween. When you obviously are going to make a card to send to somebody with a skull on it. You can't get much better than that. Not in my eyes. A skull is for life, and not just for Halloween. These, you know, skulls are great for any occasion, whether it be teenagers, you know, guys, whatever. You know, teenage girls like skulls as well. So, you know, whatever it is, I'm sure that you need to have at least one skull set in your life. Okay, so we've got our basic skull in there. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in my stencil. Again, I'm going to go over the top with this because I'm not too concerned about where I'm going. Right, so I get my stencil out. And I said, this is a gorgeous stencil, really, really nice. And then you can see all the detail and the splats there. You could try and recreate that by hand, but it's definitely hard work, and you're never going to get it where you really want it to go. So I'm going to kind of put this down here, and I'm going to go old school, and I'm going to hold it by hand, I think. I didn't bring my tape with me, or it's gone missing. That's fine, we'll live without that. Okay, and what we're going to need for a colour. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this one here, which is Candied Apple. Quite a reddish colour. I like that one. So we go in with that, with our distress tool. A kind of rather dirty red distress tool, but that's fine. Now, again, this bottom layer with the skull, it's not too important. If you go over it, again, it's not going to matter because you're not actually going to see that. So I'm just going to, I don't know, what is going on with that? What is going on with that ink pad? Any idea, anyone? That looks a bit messy, if you ask me. I don't know about you. Let me know. Let's have a look. Yes, it's very, very reddish and inky. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to go over that again. Go over nice and deep because we want that colour to be kind of a very kind of splattery, kind of dark red where possible. And if this this particular pad isn't going to cut it, we're going to have to improvise and go elsewhere. Okay, I think we're getting there now. I think that kind of squelching going on with the twisting motion with the blending tool is working wonders. Again, we're getting that kind of more very deep red. Sometimes reds don't come out on camera as they should. It may look a little orange to you here, but I can assure you it's pretty red here. So I'm just kind of taking my time going in here. Again, I don't mind going over that skull because you're not really going to see it. And just kind of getting those details there. You could go in possibly with a brush if you want to be more kind of exact. Really up to you how you do it. Helen's popped in as well. Nice to see you, Helen. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for my coffee, by the way, as well. I do appreciate that. Yeah. So, I mean, it was not long ago we actually had our dinner. So what did everybody else have for dinner? Maybe you haven't had it yet. If you're in the States, it's probably a little bit early. We had pizza. I know. Not good for the diet, but it was good for the soul, I can assure you of that. So I'm just blending this in nice and deep. I want a kind of deepish red going on there. And again, let's take this off and we'll have a look. Okay. Again, that's nice. That's really, really nice. It's exactly what I wanted. And again, don't be too concerned if you've got like little marks there, imperfections over here. It's all going to be fine. That's really, really nice. It's the kind of red that screams cool. Right, I'm not really sure what's going on with that red. Ellie had pizza and salad too. Well done, Ellie. I'm so glad you had the salad. I did not have salad. I just had pizza. There was no room left for salad, I can assure you. Oh, Hazel's had chicken korma. Well done, Hazel. Is chicken korma your favourite curry? Or is it like about your limit? I mean, I think the #1 curry in the UK is like chicken tikka masala or something. Maybe you don't like that, or maybe the mild one is what you prefer. Let me know. I like a jalfrezi. Okay, so we've gone in with the red, and that's looking pretty good. And as I've already said, I've already got a extra skull there because that skull's going to go on top at some point. Okay, but before I do that, I kind of obviously this is I would call it kind of cleanish and simple, but I want to do a little bit more to it because it's not looking Halloween-esque enough for my liking. So I'm going to have to add to that. And what I thought I would do is if I get another blending tool, and this time I need to find a green. I'm going to go for a green. Okay. We're going to use. This does not look green. That looks bluish to me, but let's have a look if I can clean that off. We'll work with it. So we've got that, and I've got peeled paint. Now peeled paint, I do like that colour. I might just go in on around the edges with that, just to kind of cement that kind of colour that I'm looking for. That would be a really cool idea, I think. I think that would look really nice. So I'm just looking for another tool, and maybe I've got another tool in my stash that I want to use. I'm sure I'll find it afterwards. Probably not. That's all good. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll go in with my peeled paint, and I'm kind of just going in the edges there, which is kind of bringing in that kind of green look. And I do like this green, very, very nice. I think it's really cool. This kind of adds to that kind of colour, your oranges and your greens and your reds. Really cool. It's strange enough you can get away with red and green for Christmas as well as Halloween. How about that? So let me just have a piece of tissue because I don't want to get my fingerprints over everything. Okay, and as I hold it down, I'm just taking the time, just go around the edge there. I say you don't want to be too careful with this. And just kind of adding something to it, you know. I think just go around the edge there. We're just going to add that kind of colour coming in. It's always nice to have. You could have you know, whether it be two-tone and have two colours. You could have easily gotten away with that if you wanted to, but kind of wanted a little bit more on that because I have my card blank, and I know that. Let's find the card blank. There we go. So once I put this on here, it's going to start to come alive a little. What I want to do first before that though is I look for a pair of, I have a tool that I normally use, and I can't find the tool, that's fine. So we're kind of rough up the edges a little bit. So we're just going to rough up those edges of the card. We don't want them perfect at all. Just kind of rough them up with the edge of your blade or scissors. Obviously, if you've got your distressing tool there, you could use it with that. I cannot find mine anywhere, I must admit. Don't want to be going on my desktop for anything at the moment because it's a nightmare. So I'm just kind of going over that there, scoring the edge there, making it nice and rough. Again, don't be too perfect. Don't worry about it. This is supposed to be kind of Halloween. It's going to be rough and ready, and that's going to kind of add to that there, which is nice. Like the rougher the better. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm just going to clean that mess up that I've made. Hazel saying chicken colour's your limit. Well done. What happens if you try anything else? Does it not work for you? Does it make you really ill? Right, so again, we've got the card there, but we're not going to be finished with that yet. Now, the skull, I'm going to put the skull on at some point, but you know what I want to do is probably want to add a little bit more. We've got the splats going on there. The question is, do I want to add more splats? And the answer is probably yes. Now, I do like my skull, but it's a little bit too white for my liking. So we need to kind of just have a little bit of an aging on that skull. Possibly antique linen. That would be a very good colour. If I can find my antique linen, hopefully I will. Never find. I've got more than one antique linen. Ah, there we go. There we go. Antique linen. So I think I'll use this just to take some of the whiteness off, just a little bit on the skull. We don't want it perfectly white. So I'm just going to get another blending tool. And it's not too dirty. This one's a little bit dirty, but I think we'll live. No, we won't. We've got another one. I've got a new pad. Yeah, so that's all. I've got an old style pad. That's cool. An old flat one, right? Okay. So this is the antique linen. It's a nice kind of colour. It's kind of an off. You probably won't see that on camera, but we're kind of aging the skull just a little bit. We're going to take some of the colour off it. But not all of it, so you want to keep it just a little bit there as well, just kind of give it that kind of aged look. Bear in mind where you think the light source may go, and just take some of that colour off. I don't want it too white. Okay. So, and I can also possibly go in just with that green there, just a little bit there on the edge. Again, we're just kind of add a little bit of texture and colour there to this. Got my red finger on there. Huh, that's fine. Even better, that works. Okay. So now we have a skull, which is not white, but it is kind of working with that. Now, one of the things I probably want to do is maybe I'll get some spray. Let's have a look for some sprays. What kind of sprays, what colour would I want to use? Oh, festive berries. Yeah. That's a nice. Oh, I have the candied. I do have the candied apple as well. So I have the candied apple, and I might just want to kind of add some more extra drips to this, just because I don't really want it. I don't really want it totally white. So kind of add some to that. And I'm just going to kind of knock it and have that coming down a little bit. Not being too, come on, there we go. Just add those splats inks there. Start to have it running down a little bit, and this is just kind of adding a little bit extra on top of your background, just because you can, and I think it looks really cool. Again, you don't want it perfect. I like that. Just kind of go with the flow there. I'm just going to put that to one side. I'm going to bring that in as well, and same again. I'm just going to add to that. That's going to look really, really nice. Again, just going to add some drips down to there. Again, you can put as much on or as little as you want. Definite blood splatter, yes, definite blood splatter there, definitely. And might just try and get a few droplets here and there. Just pick that up there if you want with your finger, and we're going to look where we're going to go. That's nice, like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stick this on here. Again, you can see how that's going to come to life a little bit more when we put the skull on top. We've got that kind of dimension going on there, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is I'm just going to stick this down with some tape, and conscious about, is it dry? Should double check that actually. Let's just dab that. Actually, if I use my heat tool, just going to dry those drips. Does anybody go dark and kind of grungy and make Halloween items? Let me know. So we've got something going on there now, and I like that. I like that. Okay, so I'm just going to tape this down. My temporary filling that I've got in my mouth, it is annoying me a bit because it's obviously temporary, but it's not shaped correctly for my mouth, so it kind of catches a little bit here and there. Right, I should clean that up just a touch. Okay. Okay, nice and clean, and we'll come back in. Just work on where we're going to go with this. And again, this is where this is not going to be perfect at all in any way, which is good because you don't want it to be perfect. You want it to be kind of dark and nasty. Okay. And I've got red fingers as well, looking good. So, next thing we want to do is, I have got a nice sentiment here, which I've got here, which I'm going to use. And then I've also stamped out a few extra skulls as well. So what we need to do first of all though is we've got this skull which I've obviously finished now. It's dry, as dry as it's going to be. And we're going to place that on the top there. So we're going to get some nice dimension going on there, which is really cool. That's what we want, especially when you're creating things. So what I want to do is I'm going to use some silicone glue. This is the 3D gel. Again, it's my glue of choice. It's the one I use all the time. It's absolutely perfect. I'm going to use it. I'm going to dispense with. Looking for all my tools tonight. I'm going to have, I must admit, butters, fingers everywhere. Right, okay. So we're going to get some glue. Oh. Time for a new one, Mark, or a different one. Right, okay. So when your glue dries, you should make sure you put it away properly. Did I put this one away properly? Did I? No, I can't get that one out. Huh. Next. Luckily I've got more than one. Not having a good night with glue tonight, that's fine. We'll improvise. Okay. So grab some glue. And again, you want plenty of glue on because you want this raised up quite a bit. So a few droplets there. I think, you know, is Halloween, you know, something you do at home? Do you go out? Do you have many trick-or-treaters? Because we've just recently moved house, so we haven't, we don't know whether we're going to get any trick-or-treaters this year, I must admit. So it's going to be interesting. Again, moving somewhere out in the middle of nowhere is nice, but then it's not nice, if you know what I mean. It's going to be very interesting to see how many trick-or-treaters we actually get. Do you get hundreds? We used to get hundreds, loads of people. So it'll be interesting this year. Let me know. Okay, let's take that off there. Then we're going to just layer that up just a touch. And as you can see, it's starting to come to life. What I like is that if we kind of zoom in just a little bit on there. So now you can see it once it's level. Okay, we've got that kind of dimension thing going on. And just see what I mean about, you know, having it at a different height there. And then you're kind of looking at an angle there. You kind of got it from all angles. So it's nice, and you can see that the colour there is not perfect on it. It's nice, and I kind of like it being imperfect. That's really, really cool. I like that. And we've got that kind of green thing going on the edges there. So I like that indeed. Okay, let's move that to one side. And what we've got here is I've already stamped out Happy Halloween from the Happy Halloween set, which is going to be perfect for that. I mean, you know, it's a sentiment which just kind of goes. It just really does work. It's very, very cool. But then we've also got some of these skulls going on, and I thought I could bookend these skulls in as well, which would be really, really cool. I think that'll work nicely. And again, such a simple kind of card that you can make. Maybe you want to make a tag. It's entirely up to you how you do it. Again, this is not going to take you long to make. It's really cool. I'll tell you what I could do is let me just see if I've got any tape left. Yes, I do have some tape. I might use. I knew I'd use some of this. So this is my tape that I made from a previous make. This is from the new PET tape that I've got. Very, very cool. This is coloured with alcohol inks, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I like that. I might be able to add that on as well. So let me just, I might use some of that tape. And for doing that, what I'll do is I'll just cut into the edge of the tape and just pull that back, and we might just peel it off by hand. Maybe I don't want it straight, maybe I don't want it perfect. So all I'm going to do is, let me just move this out of the way, you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just getting my tape, again, just pick there, just pick up the edge. I don't have any nails, so I'm using my knife. There we go, easy to peel back, as you can see. And so I'm going to use some of that, I think, just on the bottom there, because it's got a nice shade of red there, and that kind of works with the silver, I think, going on. So what I will do is, all you need to do is, if I grab myself my knife, I decide to where to cut into it, and maybe I'm going to do round about somewhere around there. So I can just go in and I can peel some of that off. I don't want it perfect, so I kind of peel it off by hand. Might have a bit wavy. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just go in there as much as you want and as little as you want. So I'm working on how much of that I really want on there. And again, I can nick into the other side as well, so we can have that kind of double waviness going on there on both sides, which will look nice. So let me just nick a little bit more off there actually. Okay, let's go into that. Again, just peel that back. All we need to do is peel that. You can use these offcuts as well, you know, if you want to. Again, this is kind of, because we've got a rough edge, I don't want it to be perfect either. So we're just going to go in there, peel back as much as we need. And on the same one here, and then when I've decided I've got enough, which I have there, what I'll do is I'll just cut it. Okay, and we've got a lovely piece here that we can use. Oh, put that on the side. Oh, right, so we have this piece here. We move that sentiment out of the way, and the skulls, and then we're just going to work out where that's going to go and which way I'm going to do it up. It's nice that you can be able to do this with this kind of product. I think it's very, very cool indeed, especially if you want to create something kind of instant and different. And I think that ticks the boxes. I'm going to pull it down just a touch there. Again, just go across there and get to that side. We just trim that off a little bit. Very easy to trim. I peel off a little bit by hand because I don't want that the perfect cut with the scissors or knife. Okay. And I might just lift that side up just a touch, you know, I'm going to do this exactly the same there. I'm just going to cut into that, just snip into that little bit there, and I'm just going to peel that a little bit off there because I don't want it perfect. You know, if you want it edge to edge and button right up to your project, then you can do. But I'm just kind of I'm after imperfection on this one here, so just kind of going in there, taking little bits off there, and I think I'm going to stop with that there. Might go in a little bit more actually. Maybe we'll add some in. I've taken that bit off now. That's fine. No, I'll keep it like that. I'm going to keep it imperfect. Okay. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have that sentiment over the top there, which is going to be nice. And then because we've got the skulls here, that's kind of really going to bring that out as well and bring it up to scratch. I think that's really nice. So I'm just going to get some more silicone glue on this here. Auntie Caffeine Crafts is here. Hello, how are you? We're kind of doing a Halloween themed card tonight, kind of with a few products that that we've got in our stash. Again, just having a little bit of fun, nothing too serious or too technical here. So plenty of glue on there. I'm just putting enough on so that we've got that raised look as well. Dropping that, set that down just a touch. And now I will do the same with the skulls on the edges. See, we don't want those, so we'll just slightly distress those up a little bit. Again, I'm using the antique linen and just taking some of that colour off, that sharpness of the bright white. Keep a little bit in there because we want a little bit there for kind of like highlighting the skulls. But yeah, we're just taking that sharpness off there because that will really work and kind of make them a little bit more realistic than too white. We want them to look a little bit aged. So I'm just going over that with that antique linen. Again, maybe just kind of bend it round a bit, give it some dimension going on here, which is nice. Should be really, really nice actually. That's cool. And we're going to put those on the edges there, kind of looking out and keeping things all in check. Okay. So yeah, something like that. We've got some glue on that. Nice to see everybody here tonight. I must admit, I don't know what the weather's like with you, but it's suddenly turned very cold here in Wales. Heating is definitely on. We tried for so long not to have the heating on, but we had to succumb to the freezing temperatures. So I'm just going to decide to place that down, and I think I'll probably have that slightly over that sentiment there, maybe underneath. I think underneath. Okay, just place that right about there, and we'll have this one looking the other way. That's nice. I think that's very nice. Okay, so that's pretty much a kind of pretty quick Halloween card. Again, there's a few techniques involved there. Nothing too complicated, I don't think. We haven't done anything on the inside, and sometimes I like to do the inside of the card as well. So I think I've got time to quickly do that. So I think we'll do something on the inside of the card. So that's the outside of the card, which is very, very nice indeed. I like that. Again, you've got all that dimension going on there. And the splats, you know. Susanna Silva, happy whatever. happy whatever. Yeah, happy whatever time. Yeah. So again, maybe you're not into Halloween. Who knows? It's all good, but that's fine. That could be great. You could swap that sentiment out if you want something a little bit darker for somebody. Really cool. So on the inside of the card, what we're going to do on the inside now, I do have already stamped out my pumpkin head, one of the smaller ones, and what would be nice would be to we'll colour that quickly with some colour. I think I'll use oh, I've got an orange there, so I've got a nice orange. I think I've got some carved pumpkin. Okay, and we'll add to this now. So we'll just put this to one side, just move it out of the way. We'll bring in the pumpkin. Again, so easy to do this. I might use some what are the colour clay? Oh, there, that's my spice marmalade as well. I'm going to use some spice marmalade. It's the classic kind of colour, I would think. It's kind of a little bit darker than the carved pumpkin, but I like that as well. And I like having that imperfection in the pumpkin as well. So you don't want it to be too perfect. And just add a little touch. I've got a green going through there as well. Just to kind of dull that up a bit, which really does make a difference. Yeah. You really want to kind of make that pumpkin look a bit more, not such a jolly pumpkin, if you know what I mean. Susanna Silva is just happy, happiness, joy, joyful, etc. What's going on with you? I think I want whatever you're having. Right, so we've got the pumpkin there. Now I'm going to do something for the inside of the card, which is something I normally do for TV, but I do like to do it to show that you can obviously decorating the inside of your card is just as important as the outside. So we'll quickly kind of do that. I'm just kind of cleaning up my mess as I go, which is rather rare for me. Okay. So I've got our pumpkin. I've got inky fingers. Right, let's see if we can get away with working on white now with my fingers. Right. So let's have a look now. So we'll move this out, just out the way, just for a second. We'll hide it out there. What we need to do is I've got another piece of card, which is going to be for my inside of my card, maybe my insert, and we do have the pumpkin there as well. Let's just move that camera up just a touch there. Okay. So we've got the pumpkin, and do you know what? All I want to do is, obviously you've got the skull on the outside, we're going to have the pumpkin on the inside. I mean, you could put a message on the inside if you want to, but you don't have to. But I'm going to bring in these ink splats, very, very cool ink splats. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 large ink splats there, really cool. We've got the rings there, like it could be like a coffee stain. It makes a good frame as well, so I'm going to kind of use it as a frame. And then we've got these gorgeous different ink splats as well going on. So I'm going to use that. Very, very easy to do this one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same kind of red that I used on the outside, just so everything coordinates with the inside of the card as well. So I'm just going to get this stamp out and my stamping platform. Okay, move that out of the way just slightly. Bring in the platform, we'll take that off now, the skull, and we'll put our card blank in. Now just try and work out where you're going. Sometimes it's nice to use your acetate as a guide so you can see where you want to place things on your project when you're creating them, which is nice. So I think I'm going to have that. I'm trying to work out the way I want it. Whether I want it, I think I want it. I think I want it like that. Okay, so we go somewhere around there. Try and look for something central. Okay, and the idea is that that pumpkin will be kind of going on the inside there, in the centre of that red circle there, which would be nice. And it's just like an after feature that people don't expect to see on the inside of your card. So it's nice to be able to do this. So I'm just going to lift that off. Put that magnet down. Okay, once we've got it sorted there, we're just going to get that candied apple again, which is a nice colour there. Again, this is kind of, we're using the distress inks. This is not the oxides, but you know, if you've got oxides, then feel free to use those as well. And just go over that. Again, you get it in the centre there. It's not the end of the world, and it's not a problem. I kind of live with that. There. Now I might go over that just to make it a little bit redder and darker there. I'm just kind of trying to be careful. This is not the best ink pad in the world. I don't know what on earth has happened to this ink pad. Let me know if anybody else's ink pad's ever gone kind of like weird like that. That's really strange, isn't it? Let me know if you know what the cause of that is. That'd be a nice one to know. Otherwise, I'll have to get another new one. Okay, there. That's a lot redder. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just take that off. And I'm not going to emboss that this time. I'm just going to put that to one side. Eddie's saying inky fingers, sign of a good time. That is correct. So we have this as, it works well as a frame. I think it's really cool as a frame on your card. So again, I've decided that this cool pumpkin is going to go inside. So give it a little bit of dimension there, curve it around a bit, just to kind of bring a little bit of dimension to that there. And he's going to sit on the inside there as well. So just because he can. Yeah. I think that looks really nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this to the inside of my card. Get some glue. Actually, normally I use my tape gun, but today I'm just going to use my glue. So if we get this working, oh yeah. Right, so we've got our card. Just be careful because mine is still wet, so I need to just be careful when I open that up. I normally prop it up against something if I don't want it to close properly, especially when you're working backwards. I'm just going to place this down in the centre. Find the centre. Again, just take your time. This is a, I think this glue is Cosmic Shimmer. So nice glue, by the way. So just put that down there. Okay. And then we're going to get some silicone glue. Stay. Okay, get some more glue again. And plenty here, because even though it's the inside of the card, I mean, maybe you want it flat. I don't mind having my inside of my cards raised a little bit. I think it just gives them a little bit more dimension. It's entirely up to you. Obviously, some people post their products out, so you do need to be careful about added postage costs when you're doing things like this. So we're just going to place that in the centre there. Again, you know, you could easily put another sentiment inside if you want to. Maybe you want to put trick or treat. Where did I put my trick or treat? Or maybe I will. Let's look now. Oh, I have got trick or treat. Maybe I'll stamp trick or treat on the inside. So technically, in theory, this is like having two cards in one. I've got this other trick or treat stamp there. So I might just stamp that now. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to pick that up. And we're going to use some black ink. Right, some VersaFine. Going old school, of course. No stamping platform, so This is one of those things where you either get it right first time, or you end up having to stick something over the top. So let's have a look now, shall we? See if I can do this in one go without on my hard surface. Okay, trying that now. Not having this down. I'm trying to see this now. One go. Did I ink it up enough? Ooh, yeah, looks like it. Okay, I'm just going to go for that. Make sure it's straight a little bit and commit. Okay. So when you don't use a stamping platform, this is this is where you kind of like, it's all in the, sometimes in the gods. Even seasoned stampers who stamp all the time can get it wrong. So it's just what happens. Oh, we got away with that. That's good. Okay, cool. Right, so we have a finished card now, which is pretty good, I'd say. Right, so we have this gorgeous sentiment on the outside with the Happy Halloween, and we have that kind of blood splattered thing going on there with the stencil. I've added a few extra drips from my candied apple there, just because, you know, why not? It's Halloween, isn't it? You know, that's what it's all about. Take a little bit of that colour off the bright white of the skulls, because you don't want them like that. You want them kind of a bit kind of aged and antiqued a little bit, like they've been in the ground. But that's a very, very cool, simple card. Again, inky, not perfect. We've scored the edges of that there. I'm sure you could do as good a good job as there. On the inside, again, we're just going to add that little something in there that they don't expect. Normally, most people would expect to possibly see just like a sentiment, or have a great time or something, but it's nice to be able to kind of add a little bit of a something in there as well. So that's nice. And again, that stamp set is a really cool one to have. So thank you very much, everybody. Great card, great Halloween card, spectacular card and demo. Well, thank you, Hazel. So that is kind of like the Halloween card. I mean, it could have gone down the road of, you know, there's lots of different ways you could have done this, in terms of, you know, what you did for Halloween. But, you know, it's about having a little bit of fun, taking your time, and just doing something that you like doing as well. You know, I know you have to give it to somebody, or you don't have to give it to somebody, but it's nice to be able to kind of like, you know, come up with something that's, you know, it's Halloween inspired. You could put loads of layers on if I wanted to, and spend hours on it. But for, like, you know, besides the background and the products going on the top, it's pretty much a standard layer. And that's what you want, really, isn't it? Sometimes less is actually more. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. It's been fun. It was a Halloween inspired one. Obviously Halloween is, when is that? 2 days time. So I hope you have a nice time. Don't be too scared. Watch plenty of scary movies. I think myself and Helen are going to be watching a load of scary movies. We're not sure which ones yet. Maybe a few that we haven't seen, just to really, really scare us up, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I hope you have a nice time. I hope you have a nice evening. Thank you again for watching me, and I shall see you same time next week. So have fun. Bye-bye now.